Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning back in to another hot seat. And as I was leading in this week, the following interview is scheduled for one fall with a 30-minute time limit. In the hot seat today, fighting out of the island of Inzugiri, he is the Tupac of super kicks, representing the Bushido Kings and debuting at Kami-sama Wrestling, Demarcus Rashad.
What's up, brother? How you doing?
It's been a hot minute since we've crossed paths, and I mean, current environment has not made it any easier, but I've got to say I've been keeping an eye on you, especially through social media, and I don't know if you just felt inspired to, kick it up another notch, or if someone drew a line in the sand, but you look like you're ready for war in these latest, updates of just your budding career.
Oh man, I'll say it like this: this year has been rough on everybody, but I feel a lot of people have never seen me actually show my true side. Everybody always likes to look at the ghetto dream, and I'm trying to get rid of that. So right now, I'm going back to the Uncanny one and showing everybody what I can truly do. So my one thing I like to do is my anger. I like to place it more in my promos and truly show people how good I am as of right now.
How passionate you are of what you believe in.
Mhm.
So, do you rely on wrestling as like a type of therapy?
Wrestling has always been a therapy, even as a kid. Still to this day, I barely drink and I don't do drugs, and wrestling was always a way to escape, even in my childhood as a child. So I still use it to this day. Wrestling doesn't turn off on my TV. When I'm at work, I'm thinking about wrestling. This is my way of coping with depression.
Oh, so have not trying to dig too deep, but I mean, have you been diagnosed or?
Oh yeah, I have.
Okay.
I'm diagnosed with depression and PTSD and other things.
Oh, okay.
Yes. So I know that right there is going to have everybody oh yeah, he's really crazy, but hey, it is what it is. This is life. We all have mental issues. As long as you know how to channel them, that's all you got to do.
Well, I hate to phrase it this way, but nowadays, if you're American, you probably have something wrong with you. Let's be honest. Whether it's the environment that we've grown up in or the environment we're exposed to, it's been very, very questionable. I mean, just the environment has changed in 4 years. I mean, 4 years ago, not you in particular, but I did see a young African-American, I'm going to assume he was African-American, he could have been Haitian, but
Yeah.
Anyway, a darker complected individual was competing at a local show and had the Stars and Bars on. I mean, he had Kill Whitey written across it, but he still was rocking that particular paraphernalia. Nowadays, even if you joke about that, you are going to get excommunicated from the church we call wrestling.
And that's dumb. We're supposed to have that's 2020 has made it where you can't do a damn thing. You can't joke wise. You can't be yourself. And I'm gonna say this because I was raised by a African American man who grew up in rough times, and he said, as long as you do whatever you do and you're respectful, be that person. But when it comes to time to handling business, be a different person. If you're a racist or whatever, be that at home. And nobody should ever oh, well, that guy is that. We shouldn't be able to do that. No, be yourself. And that's what 2020 is. We got a lot of pansies around here. That's inside wrestling and outside in current America right now, I believe.
So
I'm sorry for saying that. I'm just passionate about.
Hey! I'm not offended. I mean, you're free to. I mean, the channel's called Agro Culture after all. Agro is the first part of that. So, if you got someone's dander up, just then, hey, whatever. I've tried to get
Yeah.
arguments and fights set up between SNES and Sega, so go figure.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean but that's still something that's even in a business where getting your ass kicked is part of it, if some cat came in with a tiki torch talking about blood and soil, I mean, are you just gonna laugh that off, or are you gonna make sure you're in the ring with that guy?
It is what it is. As soon as I'm told I'm booked somewhere, like, we gonna handle it like men. Doesn't matter what character you have. Hell, you can come in and talk about any way of life, any race, any color. We're gonna handle it. We just, that's what this business is about. And like, back to the Confederate flag really isn't even a racist material. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just 2020 has turned the average what some of us grew up with, and tarnished that, and allowed people who cry a lot to be seen as greatness. And I think that's wrong. Be yourself and be happy with who you are. Just respect others. Everybody makes mistakes in life. That's how we should see it.
Okay, well, to moderately stick to this particular subject matter then. Okay. Did your father by any chance sit you down and have you watch Hogan's Heroes growing up?
No, I wasn't raised by my father.
My apologies. The gentleman you were speaking of, I
got introduced to
assumed.
wrestling. My grandfather was later on in life was a big influence, but I was raised by a whole bunch of women. When I got introduced to wrestling, my grandma Booney, people often hear me say her name. She used to tell me as a child that I was going to be a wrestler. So we used to watch old. She had this thing though. She was territorial for an old lady. You were not allowed to watch anything outside of NWA Mid-South Wrestling.
Oh, wow. So you were like raised at the altar.
Yeah.
For lack of a better term, you were the Roman Catholic of wrestling.
Yeah, like you bet. Like, when Hogan went to WCW, her wrestlers were Sting, and she loved, believe it or not, Lex Luger, Michael P.S. Hayes, Butch Reed, and them. But when the years started developing, she saw Hogan in WCW, she said she hopes Sting kills him. Ric Flair needs to handle his business. I remember her saying that all the time.
Oh, wow.
So, yeah. So that's why I think I'm so passionate about it. But not just her. Her daughter, who had passed away last year during this month, was the one that freelanced. Like, she watched all the wrestling. So that's how I got introduced to WWE and stuff like that.
Okay. Okay, well, to segue back to the Hogan's Heroes comment, so you've never heard of that show?
I remember it, but during that time, I was only probably about 2 or 3 years old.
Okay. All right. So you're a wee lad. But anyway, the whole concept is it is oddly enough a sitcom with heavy slapstick set in a prison camp during World War II. Whose prison camp? Take a guess. And they had all sorts of memorabilia and images on the screen. They even made the salute and made the comments.
Yeah. I thought you were talking about the Hogan cartoon. My bad.
Oh no, but you're not the first to misconstrue. You probably won't be the last. In fact, I'm more than certain there's at least 2 Gen Zs right now Googling Hogan's Heroes, and they're just shocked to find out what it is.
All right, now I remember that show. I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, but yes, like lots of heavy imagery of a certain party that may or may not still exist secretly. And like, they didn't hold back with some of it. I mean, clearly things were parodied. They were shown to be incompetent, overweight, easily intimidated by blood, things like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, like, Nowadays it was brought to my attention that show would just not exist. Like, I'm more than certain it probably would. Like, on Netflix, maybe, possibly. They
Yeah.
might even amp up some of it a little bit. Now, Heil Honey, I'm Home? Never in a million years. I mean, it got canceled after one episode.
Oh.
Yeah, do not look that one up. I'll just, quick summary. Hitler and Ava are a suburban couple in a 1950s sitcom who have Jewish neighbors. And yet this is all supposed to be happening during the war, but it's not as grand. Like, the takeover of Europe is like him getting a promotion at his office. It's ridiculous.
Oh. But you got to also too. It's funny you're speaking about this because there's a lot of shows, bro. That even our cartoon shows. Because I hang out with people and we always talk about. Right now, if they showed an episode of Rocco Modern Life during its age, like right now today, somebody's gonna get offended.
Wait, what? Rocco?
Yeah.
Rocco.
I mean, come on.
The innocent wallaby.
Come on, you remember certain episodes are just like crazy. So we grew up. You gotta remember too. We grew up in a time where you gotta look at it now. I say this because I'm an '80s baby, grew up in the '90s, but some of our cartoons are crazy. But now how offended people get these days now. Like, they will take it, and you remember the bar episode? I know somebody has a DVD of this. Y'all remember the bar episode when everybody was walking around with the censored bars on their bodies?
Oh, God.
Yeah, okay, let's play that episode right now. If we play that episode right now, 2020, we would get slandered. Ren and Stimpy.
Ren and Stimpy, they intentionally went there, and then when they said, oh, it was always supposed to be an adult cartoon, then make it that way. Okay, went too far.
Hey, I love the '90s. We had fun.
Oh,
now
yeah.
You can't even break dance without somebody saying you're offending somebody. This is 2020.
Oh. Yeah, no, I mean,
you're looking at the episode.
I might be taking notes, but that's beside the point.
Yeah.
Anyway, you've been busting your ass. You've been getting, you got noticed by this new promotion. Like, how did Kami-sama pick you up? Was it just classic through the grapevine? Guy A knew guy B knew guy C knew you. Y'all had a great match, and you even tagged once. And then boom, you're there. Or did they actually do research, find out you're on some list that people are talking about, look you up, and go that route?
I think it was the other one because no lie, this year I was gonna quit wrestling and I was just gonna go back to Muay Thai kickboxing. I like to post my workouts, and I remember Bart was hitting me up, and he said certain things about like he's always liked my style, and he had this company coming up, and like when he described it to me, like I felt like that was good, like to bring back the it's like I don't know how to say his last name. What's his name? The pure Ring of Honor champion right now.
Oh God.
Jonathan Grissom.
Yeah, Grissom. Yeah.
Okay, like right now, I feel like this is not to offend nobody because I can high fly too, but I feel like Kamikaze Wrestling is doing like what Ring of Honor is doing. Like, let's bring back the hard hitting style. Let's bring back because certain guys I've seen on that list themselves, everybody claims to be strong style, but on that roster right there, if you see it, everybody actually has legit martial arts background. And not to sound like a badass mixed martial artist, I just hate when guys say they're strong style and can't even like actually produce on what they say they are. You know what I'm saying? What they are. And I feel Kamikaze Wrestling is going to have I don't know if I said it right, but it's going to have some. It's going to have some good stuff, especially this Saturday. Like, I've never been nervous for a show until this one's coming up.
Yeah, Saturday the 12th at the Houston Premier Center, right?
I got about 5 different ways I'm getting there, because I'm going to make sure I'm getting
Get your bases covered, yeah.
I missed the last match, though. I was supposed to wrestle Chris Raven to open up the show, and me and Hero supposed to be on our way, and the tire had blew out. So we were both, pretty upset, because we know that that company and DZW are together.
Really?
Yeah, they do stuff together. And they were,
they do talent exchange. Yeah, I gotcha.
Yeah. So
okay.
we don't like missing shows. So hopefully they see that. We truly apologize. We want another shot. Hopefully y'all see that this Saturday. And I like to give a quick shout out to my little cousin, though, DG Taylor. Like, that's my boy. So let me say that part real quick.
Oh yeah, I was there when the Taylor Boys blossomed and bloomed. Heck, I remember when they were just a couple of endangered zebras.
Yeah. Both of them got talent.
Oh yeah.
Both of them got talent. Both of them. Zach is one of not to. I hope this doesn't get you mad, but Zach versus Nate Collins is happening next week in Laredo. I mean, that match right there too. Like, just looking at that, that's 5 stars.
Oh.
That's a match. That's a match. Everybody. I'm glad that I'm part of the reason why they're going to be wrestling. But like, that's a God, man. To me personally, and now you can hear my voice say that. To me personally, that's like watching. That's to me that's the Rock versus Stone Cold match. That's Kenny Omega versus Ibushi. Like, everybody that's on their top, not so mainstream. This is these guys right here.
Oh,
and
wow.
These guys should be signed next. That's how that's how passionate I am about wrestling. I know talent when I see it, and I said this match next week needs to be that match right there needs to be main event, and I'm hoping that they allow me to do commentary because I'm going to be watching that as a fan, and that's why I love wrestling. Guys like that.
Well, there were times I would call Zach Taylor main event, but he never said, dude, that's not my nickname. Like, could be. You tell me it isn't, but you know, hey, I get stuck behind the desk more than in the ring, so what do I know?
Hey, but you observe more, so like people got to give it to you. Like, it's only a few guys that actually know their stuff on wrestling. I mean, like, I could say you, Albert, the guy that does commentary for Heavy Metal. You and him, y'all are good guys at doing commentary. I've never got to actually listen to everybody else on shows, but I know that like this is not nobody else. But
well, no, I mean, there's a lot of people in the business. It's not like there's 12 guys.
Yeah, there's a whole lot.
Yeah.
There's a whole lot.
I mean, there's a lot of potential. Honestly, to see you and Steve-O, or the Pinfall Wizard, you and him in a 2 out of 3, like a pure 2 out of 3 with a 60-minute time limit, that could be some magic.
With me and Steve Reno?
Yep.
Man, dude, you know what's funny is I'll say this. Steve Reno, Ken Carson, Bolt Brady, and ACH, and Jadis. I used to watch HCW, and used to throw. I don't care. Still to this day, HCW is my WCW, my ECW, and I used to like. This is the first time anybody's going to hear me say this. I was going to make a post about this, but I remember I was a fan so bad that I wanted to be part of Smurf Nation. Like, like, oh.
They became a thing. They became a major thing. Like, you just hint at playing their music, and the crowd's on their feet. Just a collective fuck yes from the crowd. It was insane.
That's when you would say F COVID. Like, cause man, like right. I've at all shows. Like, I love wrestling for every company, but those Sundays that when I was able to wrestle for ACW was like yeah, you're there. Like, you know, like there has to be a certain company that everybody like. And another thing that pisses me off is when people say that they don't know nothing about the indies and they're in Texas wrestling, like the young guys. Not to knock all young guys, but I'm just saying, like, before I got in this business, I'm consuming wrestling, and like ACW is one of those companies that was just like, if you're there, like, in my eyes, I always felt like if you're there, the world is watching. I mean, because look what they did with ACH, Athena, Ricky Starks. Like, they gave some good guys to what's being served right now on the TV.
Oh, very true. Athena and ACH definitely were just eye-opening, and also not trying to walk down this particular alley, but have you noticed a shift in the expectation of certain types of competitors within the business? Like, it seemed like back in the day, if a gentleman happened to be black, he was the muscle. But nowadays, you've got folks like yourself and Zach and DG Taylor. You have ACH, highly acrobatic. Athena, jazz before her. You know, Rodney Mack, yeah, a large individual, but very skilled, technical striker, very surgical. Like, if he really wants to put someone in a face lock, they're going to know where they are. He will tell them what time it is. You know, there's this diversity. King Omega, Prince Sims, you know, versatile individuals. Heck, I remember. Do you know the first person who ever put me in a sharpshooter?
Who was that?
Cash Money.
Really, man, he's disappeared.
Yeah,
Like
Cash Money of all people was the first person to surgically stretch me. He went from a sharpshooter into a Texas cloverleaf.
oh, that sounds just beautiful.
Oh,
Like,
oh, oh.
I love
Smooth
technical
like
wrestling.
fucking silk, my friend.
Yeah.
I'm like, I was so glad it wasn't for actual bragging rights or anything, but that transition, like, can I tap yet? Cause wow.
You gotta look at it like just naming that and then naming how the transition of the technical ways of it. Like you gotta see that everybody. I believe right now everybody is shooting to aim to have their own craft, but they also got people that they've always watched. And like on that list, like yeah, the black guy was always the muscle, but nowadays, right when we're getting into this business nowadays, you have where the first thing we're told is you got to make your own lane. You gotta make it where everybody can see who you are. And so I think some of us are now like, what can I do where I can't be compared to the next person? And I mean, like you got guys like ACH, he's all around. Who's another guy that
he was the first guy I ever saw do a second rope 450.
oh yeah, he does shit that's like, man, like it's just magical. Like it's crazy. I mean, and you gotta look at it like, okay, he can do everything. And then so I always get myself to like, okay, what can I do that to the point where I know I can own it? And I believe that all of us are like that right now. To the point, like one of my I'll say this out in the open. One of the people that a year ago, 2018, I watched every single one of his matches. And you know, certain people don't. I hate when people say like, "Oh, don't mark out to a certain guy." Like that's stupid. But JoJo Bravo is one of the reasons why I changed my
Jazzy J
like
Serious. Yeah, Jazzy J Serious for sure. Like he has come a long way along lines of getting people's attention. He's one of those that whether he gives two shits about me or not, I always paid attention to him, and he got in there. It didn't matter who the opponent is.
Shit, though. Yeah. He has a match with Chris Hero. A lot of people need to look that up on YouTube. Like this, and I remember seeing him, and he was another guy that I saw in AEW because he was during the time with Bolt Brady. This is when this only part I'm saying. This is when he had hair, when he had the ponytail.
Oh yeah. the magical tail.
Yeah. So I hope he doesn't take that the wrong way, but I mean, really, like watching him. So like in 2018. I remember just like watching him and just like, I mean, for years I've always like been like a student of his craft. One, he's short. Well, he's shorter than me, but he knows how to fucking break somebody at 6'6" down.
Oh yeah.
He knows how to. Yeah, he's gonna wrestle you like watching him wrestle somebody else, no matter the height or anybody. It's like they're the same height, and he doesn't. He's another short guy that doesn't use all high-risk maneuvers. Like, that's a surgeon in the ring right there. That's a general. That's a Christopher Daniels of Texas right there, I say, personally.
Oh, no, I had one practice match with him, and I honestly thought my left arm just disappeared after a while because he just literally fingertips all the way to the shoulder, worked every part of it. And I'm like, what the fuck happened?
Yeah. Yeah, he's good. Oh, and I'll tell you another guy, which everybody probably knows. I don't know. I hope nobody takes this the wrong way, but Austin has some badass technical wrestlers, and Jeff Gant's one of the top notches in one of those. That's another guy that I feel like is good too. He has a good chain wrestling. I'm sorry, I like to put people over. I love wrestling.
hey, that's you're in the hot seat. Wrestling's like one of the top subjects right now because of the company in the hot seat right now. Now, if you start talking about Totievsky's work, that would completely catch me off guard, but we could roll with that too.
Who did you say?
Oh, I was talking about a dead Russian author, doesn't.
Oh.
And I think I said his name wrong anyway, but but yeah, if you mentioned something about the play Uncle Vanya, oh well, okay, that's a curveball, but something probably a little closer to home for you. All right. Growing up, you mentioned being an 80s baby and a 90s kid growing up.
Uh-huh.
So you hit the arcades at some point, and you're talking wrestling's your life.
Uh-huh.
You're in the arcade, there is a wrestling game, But in your perfect arcade, what is that wrestling game in your arcade?
Slam Masters.
Haha. Very
Slam Masters
popular.
Yeah, Slam Masters was out before shoot, man, you gotta before the WWE arcade game came out. But I remember in my small town, at one time in the '90s, our mall had like a large arcade, and it shut down in like '97. And I remember like Slam Masters was the biggest game right there. We had Mortal Kombat and all that, but Slam Masters had it where it was like real big. Not like saying like popular wise, but like the console was big. And I remember it was right there at the front door. And I remember like I couldn't get off of it. And then I remember I had it for Super Nintendo, but I would still, you'll have to walk across the bridge. And it was like that game was just badass because you knew it was a knockoff of every wrestler. You had Greater, then you had that Kabuki wrestler.
Mm-hmm.
The two guys, I've always compared them to the like our typical American type.
Gunlock and Biff Slamovich.
Yeah, that was my game. But the only thing I didn't like that looking back on it, they should have had Zangief on there.
Well, that's why they had Hagar.
Yeah. I'm a Capcom guy, a 90s Capcom guy. I remember Final Fight.
No judgment whatsoever.
Yeah.
So who was your go-to though? So Slam Masters is a game. Who was the go-to?
The Kabuki guy, and then I didn't like the fact that Stinger was a luchador and he was real small. I hated that.
Oh,
grown up to me.
You didn't dig El Stingray?
No, because my favorite, like the guys that had me watching wrestling like every day, it seemed like wrestling never stopped as a kid was the Great Muta and Sting.
Oh God, you want to talk about a pairing?
Yeah, that I've noticed everybody always sees that on Facebook. Like I'm always like Sting, Great Muta, and but I just remember like the first thing I ever remembered. I remember watching wrestling a lot as a kid, but I remember the seeing Great Muta skip the mist out, and then I remember the event of the Dark Scorpion cage match.
God,
and I remember,
the dreaded Black Scorpion.
And it was Ric Flair, but that was a match that made me be like, I'm gonna be a wrestler. I was like 3. I was like, I'm gonna be a wrestler growing up. Cause I was a kid. I was probably, this is funny. I used to tell myself as a kid that I was gonna help Sting, cause like growing up, he was always the good guy that got jumped.
Mm-hmm.
And like even Lex Luger turned on him, so I was like, man, when I grow up, like Sting, you ain't gotta worry about. I got your back, bro. Like,
you were gonna be RoboCop before RoboCop showed up.
Oh man, I hate that dude. Take that out. That's worse than David Arquette. Like.
Oh wow.
Yeah, we gotta take that off.
Oh man. Okay, so let's say hypothetically, you're down the road, you busted your ass a little more, and some comic publisher, catches your work and says, "We would love to make a mini series of you. 6 issues. What's the story? What is the comic book of the Uncanny DeMarcus Rashad?"
Oh, now that's a hard one because I would have to try to tell them on that the comic book series we're gonna have to do Ghetto Dream, and the reason why I would say that is because Ghetto Dream can relate to everybody that's like in poverty, and I can you can establish him as a good guy and use him to like be the superhero.
So like a Luke Cage type of persona.
Yeah, like just to help him out. Cause like right now, like man, like I grew up making a lot of mistakes. I was on juvenile probation as a dog, and like I feel like that comic book could like really save. Like a lot of people don't know this. I mean, well, a lot of people that try to act like they like right now it's cool to be in the comic books, but like as a child, like wrestling in comic books also was like one of the like the things that takes you away. And there's certain people that can like it's a fictional character, but it drives you to do something with yourself. You know what I'm saying? So like that comic book could be like something that can do that to the black kid that don't want to play basketball or rap or play football. You can have a different outlet.
A 6-issue run of the Ghetto Dream DeMarcus Rashad.
Yep. Huh. And we would not have no females involved in that. Just have him be a good guy. Like, yeah, because let's just say, like I tell everybody, hey, what y'all saw heavy metal, that is not a gimmick. I'm just saying that right now. I'll tell everybody that. But yeah, just make him a good guy, dude.
Okay, so aside from Kami-sama wrestling, coming up December 12th in Houston, the Premier Event Center. Tickets will be on sale at the door. Aside from there, where else are people going to see you coming up in December, possibly January?
Man, I'm having a hard time right now because I still want to wrestle, but I have a fight coming up in January.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so like I'm trying to like shoot for that, and that's a lot of people don't know this, but I'm 33 years old. But damn, this is gonna sound bad. Wrestling and kickboxing has always been one of my sports, and I see myself doing this. Wrestling wise, I don't know, because I mean we got COVID going on, but I love kickboxing a lot, so we're trying to see what's up. But right now, my main goal right now is because I'll be fighting every 3 months. But my main goal right now, wrestling wise, is that I want everybody to see, because the Bushido Kings is only a tag team right now, and there's gonna be no more members. And me and DD are establishing that. And our goal right now is we got Memphis looking at us, we got Tennessee looking at us, and our goal is to win some tag team gold. And like, hopefully, if COVID gets like done and over with, we want to have everybody establish that this is the Bushido King. And originally, this was the original Bushido Kings, was me and DD.
Well,
and like now, yeah.
What happened between you and Bill Dempsey? Am I allowed to bring his name up in conversation? Like, I thought you told like attacked at the hip.
Yeah, well, how can you say this? Bushido Kings had like a lot of things going on. Even at the Uprising show, I had showed everybody that like the Media Kings was also part of Bushido Kings, and that was only a branded outlaw. But like right now, like I want me and Bill Dempsey's still cool. But my goal is right now is there's nothing against me and Bill Dempsey. That's my brother. I love him. Shout out to him, Raskar, Evan Axel. Even that's my opponent. Those are like Jeff Ginn. Those are still my brothers. But like right now, like it's time for me and my brother, my little cousin DG, to like let's get this. Like let's show everybody what we can do. And our last match, everybody still talks, but like me and DG are very close, and we've been close for 3 years. But I feel like this tag team can make it, and I know it can. When great minds like not saying like greater minds than everybody else, but like when good minds come together and they're passionate about a business and they know how to like I look at the same thing. DG and Dill Dipsy, I do this in my tag team route. Dill Dipsy and DG are the guys that lead the group, like tag team wise. Like they the ones that like sit me down. We're gonna do this. We're gonna do that. At that. With DG, I call him the professor, and like he knows how to, you know what I'm saying, how to construct what we're gonna do. And if anybody's like hearing this, any tag team in Texas right now, y'all doing shows, like let's see if y'all tag team is good against us. You know what I'm saying? Like I guarantee you, we can show y'all what's up.
Well, we'll leave it at that right there. That's going to be a great way to wrap things up. So for those who are paying attention, please remember to like, share, and subscribe. Hit the bell to stay up to date on what's going on. The man in the hot seat this evening, once again, was the Uncanny, the Ghetto Dream, DeMarcus Rashad.
Thank you, brother, for this opportunity, man. Thank you.
I'm Ian Torch. This has been the hot seat, and it's out.